Now, when the blood, deoxygenated blood from the right auricle, it enter into right ventricle through right auriculoventricular aperture guarded by tricuspid valve. Then the blood from the ventricle, it goes to the lungs for oxygenation through pulmonary artery. Now, the pulmonary artery, this is the pulmonary artery. It is written here pulmonary aorta, that is also correct. We call it aorta also, but for avoiding confusion, you will call it pulmonary artery. Now, pulmonary artery, it divides into two arteries, that is the left pulmonary artery and right pulmonary artery. Why into right and left pulmonary artery? Because they enter into their respective lungs. Right pulmonary artery, it will carry deoxygenated blood to the right lung, and left pulmonary artery, it will carry deoxygenated blood to the left lung. Now, at the base of the pulmonary artery, the pulmonary artery, it has pulmonary artery at the base, it has a valve known as semilunar valve. Semilunar, why it is known as semilunar? Semi means half, lunar means moon, because it has three half moon shaped flaps. That's why it is known as semilunar valve. And what is the function of semilunar valve? It prevents the backflow of blood from the pulmonary artery into the ventricle. I hope it is clear to everyone. So, this pulmonary artery, it has a valve known as valve, valve known as semilunar valve. Why it is known as semilunar? Because it has three half moon shaped muscular flaps. That's why it is known as semilunar valve. And what is its function? It prevents backflow of blood from the pulmonary artery into the left ventricle. So with this, blood vessels of the right side of the heart are complete. Let me show you once again this one, semilunar valve. Here it is, 3, 1, 2, 3. It is clear here also, 1, 2, 3 half moon shaped muscular flaps. So with this, blood vessels of the right side of the heart is complete. Superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, which opens into right auricle. Right auricle open into right ventricle through tricuspid valve. Then right ventricle, it opens into the pulmonary artery through a valve known as semilunar valve, which carry deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Right pulmonary artery to the right lung, left pulmonary artery to the left lung. Let's start with the blood vessels of the left side of the heart. Left auricle, it receives oxygenated blood from the lungs through pulmonary veins. 4 pulmonary veins, 2 from each side, 2 from left lung, 2 from right lung. They open into the left auricle. Pulmonary veins, they open into the left auricle and bring oxygenated blood to the heart. Now the left auricle, it open into the left ventricle by a large passage known as left auriculoventricular aperture. Like right auriculoventricular aperture, here it is left auriculoventricular aperture. And this left auriculoventricular aperture is guarded by a one-way valve known as bicuspid or mitral valve. It is known as bicuspid or mitral valve. Why it is known as bicuspid? Because it has two muscular flaps. You can see here 1, 2, and in the right auricle we call tricuspid valve. Why tri? 1, 2, 3. Three muscular flaps were present in the tricuspid valve or right auriculoventricular valve, and in the left auriculoventricular valve, two muscular flaps are present. 1, 2. That's why it is known as bicuspid valve or mitral valve. Now, bicuspid valve, it allows flow of oxygenated blood from the left auricle into the left ventricle, and these bicuspid valve, these are attached from the lower side by a white tough cord-like structures, thread-like structures known as chordae tendineae, and these chordae tendineae are attached to papillary muscles. So again, what is the function of chordae tendineae? That it closes the valve, it closes the bicuspid valve during the contraction of ventricle to prevent the backflow of blood from the left ventricle into the left auricle. So that's why it is a one-way valve, means it allow only one side flow of blood from left auricle into left ventricle. Now, left ventricle, it receive oxygenated blood from the left auricle. When bicuspid valve it get closed, the left ventricle it pump blood to the whole body through a large blood vessel known as aorta. All of you have studied in your class 10th also. Aorta, it is responsible for the transport of blood to each and every part of the body. So the blood from the left ventricle is carried by the large blood vessel known as aorta, and at the base of the aorta, three muscular flaps are present that are known as three muscular flaps are present. You can notice these are also semilunar or half moon shaped, known as the aortic semilunar valve. Like pulmonary artery, it also have, aorta also have semilunar valve, three muscular flap it has, half moon shaped muscular flap it has. That's why it is known as aortic semilunar valve, and same function as that of the pulmonary semilunar valve, that it prevent backflow of blood from aorta into the left ventricle. With this, internal structure of heart is complete. And all of you were saying, have written the answer in the last question. I asked that how many membranes are present outside the heart. You have written epicardium, myocardium, endocardium. That is the muscles of the heart wall. Heart wall, it is made up of three muscles or three layers. Heart muscles you can say, or heart wall, it is made up of three layers: endocardium, myocardium, epicardium. Epi means outer. It is not in your syllabus, but epi means outer, which is in contact with the visceral pericardial membrane. Then middle layer is known as myocardium, and the innermost layer, this one, innermost layer is known as the endocardium. Okay, so there should be no confusion between the layers of the heart muscle and the outer membrane. I hope it is clear to everyone.